Special products. First thing we're going to do is the square of a sum. What I want to impress upon you first is this, though. What happens sometimes is that people see they multiply 63 times 67 and they go through the long process and they get 4221, or they do 78 times 72 and they go through the whole long process that you're familiar with, and they end up with a result of 5616. And somebody who did this enough times noticed that when these two numbers are the same, the 6 is the same as the 6 and the 7 is the same as the 7, and these two numbers add up to 10, there's a shortcut that you can take. They notice that all you got to do is go 6 times the next number up. 6 times 7 is 42, and 7 times 3 is 21. Same thing here. 7 times the next number up is 8. 7 times 8 is 56, and 8 times 2 is 16. So if you have, let's say, 24 times 26, then all you got to do is multiply 2 times the next higher number, which is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24. And so you got a shortcut method of doing it. That's a special product, okay? Well, we're going to be doing the same type of thing with polynomials. Somebody has done this enough times, and they noticed there was a pattern, and because of that pattern, some shortcuts were developed. First one we're going to do is the square of a sum. All right, a plus b squared. That's a plus b times a plus b. So we go a times a, and we get a squared. A times b, and we get ab. B times a gives you ba, but it's the same thing as ab. And b times b gives you b squared. And when you simplify this, you get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. All right, let's look at another one. C plus d squared. C plus d times c plus d. We go c times c gives us c squared. C times d gives us cd. D times c gives us cd. And d times d gives us d squared. When we simplify it, we got c squared plus 2cd plus d squared. All right, last one over here. E plus 1. You might have already noticed the pattern. I'm happy for you if you did, but we're still going to go one more time over here. E times e is e squared. E times 1 is e. 1 times e is e. And 1 times 1 is 1. And so it gives you e squared plus 2e plus 1. Have you noticed the pattern yet? Let's see what we can end up with here, okay? Let's get a different color. We'll go with red. First thing you notice is that you square the first one. See, the a is squared, okay? Then you can also notice that you square the second one, and that's your third term. The middle term is just 2 times a times b. See? 2 times a times b. So this one, you'll square the first term, square the last term, and the middle term is 2 times c times d. 2 times c times d. See? Now over here on the last one, we've got e squared, and let's just go ahead and do the second term. 2 times e times 1. That's 2 times e is 2e, times 1 is 2e, and 1 squared. Let's try a few of them over here and see how we do. Alright, the first one here, we square the first one, which is 3x times 3x, which will give you 9x squared. Then we go 2 times 5 is 10, times 3 is 30, x. And then we square the last one, 25. Okay? Let's do this one down here. X to the third plus 9 squared. We square the first one. This can be tricky here, but when you raise a power to a power, the third x to the third to the second power is x to the sixth, plus 2 times 9 is 18, times x to the third is 18x to the third, and then we square the last one, 81. We'll do one more, and then it'll be your turn to do the last two, okay? All right, so we've got 8c, which would be 64c squared. We square the first one. Then we go 2 times 3 is 6, times 8 is 48, cd. And then 3d squared is 9d squared. All right, let's see how you do now. Do this one and this one, pause the video, and then come back to me, okay? All right, let's see what we get here. 3x squared is 9x squared. 2 times 4 is 8, times 3 is 24, xy. And then 4y squared is 16y squared. Did you get that? I hope you did. All right, so now we've got 3b squared. 3b squared, square the first term, which will give you 9b squared. 2 times 3 is 6, bc, plus c squared. Okay, I'm sure you did fine. Now let's go on to move to the next one. Square of a difference. We just got through doing the square of a sum. The square of a difference is done the same way with one exception. And that one exception you'll see very quickly here, okay? This is going to be a squared. Do it the same way, okay? 2 times a times negative b will give you negative 2ab. And then negative b squared is positive b squared. Okay? So the only difference is, remember the first time when it was a plus, it was a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. But this time, there's a minus sign in the middle, and instead of a plus right here, there's a minus. That's the only difference. It's still a positive a squared and a positive b squared. It's just that the middle term becomes a negative term, okay? So let's try these. 6p, oh, get your marker. Okay, 6p squared is 36p squared minus 2 times 1 is 2 times 6 is 12p plus 1, because 1 squared, negative 1 squared is 1. All right, over here we've got a squared minus 2 times 2 is 4, ab plus 4b squared. You do these two, and so pause the video, do these two, and come back to me, okay? All right, so we square the first term, 4s to the fourth, and then we go 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 12, s squared, and square the last term, and we get 9. Okay, and then this one we go 10x, square the first term, gives us 100x squared. Then we go 2 times 7 is 14, times 10 is 140, x, and then plus, because we square this negative 7, and we get 49. All right, the product of a sum and a difference. This is a special one also, and the thing about this one is it's even simpler than the ones you've already been doing. There are only a couple of things you have to do, and if you remember what this looks like, you'll recognize it and have no problem with it, okay? It's important that you learn these shortcuts because they make your life a lot easier, okay? See, this is a sum and a difference, sum and a difference, sum and a difference. So these, and this is a multiplication, so this is a product of a sum and a difference. You notice that it's the same thing, A and B on both sides, in both parentheses, and A plus 2 in both parentheses. I mean A and a 2 in both parentheses. The only difference is one has a plus and one has a minus. So this is what happens. You go A times A and you get A squared. A times negative B and you get negative AB. B times A and you get AB. And B times negative B and you get negative B squared. Look, negative AB and positive AB cancel each other out. So they're gone. Bad mark there. And you're left with A squared minus B squared. And I bet you can figure out what the other two are going to be just by what we've done so far. What are we going to do on the next one? If you notice, the first one here, we squared the first term, squared the second term, and we put a minus sign in between. So this one we're going to square the first term, square the second term, and put a minus sign in between. Square the first term, square the second term, put a minus sign in between. Alright, your turn. Try these, pause the video and try these three, and then come back to me. Alright, so we square the first term, square the second term, oops, I didn't square that, and then put a minus sign. Square the first term, square the second term, and put a minus sign in between. Square, oops, this is supposed to be a C right here. Square the first term, square the second term, and put a minus sign. Now this only works whenever there's a plus and a minus, and the numbers and letters are the same, okay? Plus and a minus. Don't get confused about that, okay?